But at the same time, even though I know they want to stay free, um, they're using,
Yeah,
right? So
right.
that's going to be our topic tonight. But we're kind of waiting for a few more people to get on. I just want you to think about that. If you got any thoughts right now, you can share them.
Right now they'll be difficult because if that's what you know, slick don't slide in there.
Right,
Man, they can't they can't give you no breathalyzer. Don't get high. I
right,
know, cause I'm gonna tell you, I did it.
right. Well,
But
that's
but
right.
I but I stopped. I quit because I know I can't. I don't want that no more. But I done fell off, man. You know, a
Yeah,
couple of weeks ago. But
right,
it's hard when you in a situation where you ain't got no structure and you
right.
an addict.
Yes, yes, DeAndre. That
And
is
I'm an addict and I
mm,
ain't got no structure. So every
yeah,
day is a struggle to be
yes,
out here fear based living
right,
away from my family, not being able to see you cats at a Tuesday night, whatever. And
right.
just what my best thoughts send me to the penitentiary. Come on, man.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Man,
I can't be.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm here, Pop.
Yeah, that's Larry. Larry,
Yes.
Larry Harris. You know, Larry just got out. He's been out about 2.5 weeks now. And
Larry,
Larry, yeah, you know Larry. Larry got his
last
job.
name.
Larry Harris from Lino. You know Larry.
Okay.
Larry, you know, you have had the problem. Did you hear my question?
No, I just got on the line.
Okay, that's okay. What we're talking about is pop guys who start out doing so well, but then
Okay.
slip back and start using,
Uh-huh.
and slowly that using takes them over, and
Mm-hmm.
before you know it, they're not paying their bills, they're homeless, they're staying over at chick's
Mm-hmm.
house, she's upset, she's putting him out. Hey, Ananiah, she's putting him out. He don't have no place to live, uh, and now that's a violation of your parole. You get it,
Right.
and so I really, I'm really struggling because we got about 5 guys, good brothers, and D, I'm counting you in that 5. That that using is the key for going back to the penitentiary. So we're going to get into that discussion later tonight. We're going to go to the acts of faith in a moment. I'm going to wait about 5 or 6 more minutes for a few more people to come on. And then once that happens, we'll start out with the acts of faith and uh, and take it from there. Ananiah, just do a quick check-in. You all right?
Yeah, Pop, I'm okay. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah,
Work
yeah.
work is good. Family is
Work
good.
is good. Health is excellent. Yeah.
Good.
Got all
Right.
of my bills paid down.
What?
Yeah, I
What?
mean completely down. I'm like in the black.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You in the
Yeah.
black?
I'm in
Yeah.
the black. Yes.
Right.
So
That's where the big money's at, in the black.
yeah,
You
exactly.
sound like you lost a little weight, especially from the neck up.
Hey, what's up, bro? It's Andre. I just recognized that was DeAndre, Pop. Yeah.
Right. And so
But yeah,
and
I'm doing good, Pop. It's I just stayed in my routine, stayed in
right.
my positive routine, and keep it
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yeah, and you've really, like Tim, you've really stayed true to yourself. And last week we talked about the 5 psychological strengths that you need in order for you to find yourself in the good life. The first strength was identity. Who are you? You know, what are you trying to accomplish actually? What are your goals? And when you think about those things, it makes things that get in your way seem more avarice to you because you understand your goals don't allow for that. I'm going too fast, and I'm gonna step back, and then just give me 5 more minutes or something like that while other people come on, and I will be right back with you. But you guys can talk amongst yourself.
I don't
Listen,
know how to do the camera thing, but I follow the code. I'm learning. I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can by myself.
okay, well you're on. That's a good thing. But listen,
Yeah.
I got something heavy tonight. I
Yeah, I
need
know. I heard it.
I need y'all's input and the wisdom of the group. Before we get there, I want to read the acts of faith to you for today, May 5th. I believe today is May Day, right?
Yeah. I think it made it.
Listen, when the door is closed, you must learn to slide across the crack of the sill. Hmm. Human beings are creatures of habit. We do what we know, what is comfortable, and what we think will work. Oh my God.
That's right.
There are, however, those occasions when our way is not the way to get us to our goal.
Praise God.
Look at God sharing this right here for me.
That's right.
Praise
This
God.
will make me know I'm on the right track here because I couldn't pick this out. This was just today. But
That's
let me
right.
think about what we're saying. It says, look, when your way doesn't work, don't be disheartened and use. When someone says no, be willing to ask someone else. Always be willing to start at the bottom. Being willing does not mean you will stay there. A closed door does not mean you have been cut off permanently. It's a challenge, an obstacle, a tool to be used. The keys to all doors are within you. If you have
Praise
faith
God.
in yourself,
Blog me.
practice and patience will make you a master locksmith.
Mm, wow.
I am willing to do it by any means honorable and necessary.
That's good. That's
Yes.
good.
So let me
That's good.
let somebody jump in on that.
Well, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. Oh,
Hey,
you hear me?
Tony. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, a lot of things aren't happening fast enough for me, but the people in my village, as I call it, people, I, my people that I feel as mentors, they keep me grounded because really, my worst my worst thing is idle time, and
Hmm.
so this
Ooh,
this
that's
is a
deep.
very this is a test of my faith in whether I want to do something like it. I've been trying to get closer to God
Right.
because I have to be doing something, or else I get you know manic. I'm ready to go.
Right.
Fight or flight. You know. Yeah, this has been a real challenge for me to have to sit down and take a look at who's in the mirror.
Right. Well, that's good. That's good, sis. Now, just for y'all who don't know, Rhea lives in a woman's building, and that building is under quarantine. Has been under quarantine for the last 30 days, so they can't go
Wow.
nowhere. You know, they get a chance to go for a walk. I think once a week, to the store and back. That's it. So, sis, that was important. I appreciate you sharing that. We're gonna come back. But anybody else got something for that reading? Jump in.
Yeah, Andre.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. And that is a fact, man. That
One knows what's
just
wrong.
because the door is closed, that you don't mean that your life is closed off, man. Because how
Right.
many times I done been locked up in institutions, man. They close the door, but I find a way to get something all the way down to the other end of the gallery.
Right.
If I got to tear it up and make it out of sheet, if I got my paper clip, if I got to do something. You know, so I felt that here, and that was a good one for this topic we talking about right now.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, but you know, D, and so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna touch back at you because that was so good. But you know,
Damn.
here's my thing. Here's my thing with you is, I mean, do you have to? Do you have to go back to prison?
I don't.
Okay, if so, let's just say we've established that. So then with things, you have to therefore eliminate some of the things that have sent you back.
That's true.
Hmm. And
And,
you
and,
know,
and
I'm
in
gonna
my
tell you.
mind, King,
Hmm.
and in my mind, I feel like if I eliminated causing harm to people, why would people be worried about me causing harm to myself?
Right,
I'm, you know,
right,
I'm hurt. I mean, it's a selfish thing. It's a me thing when you mess with drugs.
right,
You know, it's a but you gotta admit that you got a problem. If you don't admit that problem, I've never had a problem with paying my bills. I'm a functioning addict. I've never had a problem with paying those bills. I've never had a problem with being homeless. I use all that to use.
right,
I use all that to go straight to what I ain't stealing from nobody. I ain't
right,
robbing nobody. I ain't took
right,
nothing.
right.
But it's still it's a all the months add years that I went back to that. You know what I'm saying? So I did 3 extra years.
Right.
So yeah, so I just be looking at that.
Well, and nobody got a lot of background noise there.
Yeah, they do.
But watch this now, and I could go on and talk about that because what I love about you is when you want to be, you can be so honest, and I appreciate that about you. The other thing that I would say to you, man, is that you are an intelligent man, and sometimes it seems to me that you allow your intellect to trick you in to going backwards.
That's right.
And you just kind of explained it like designing this false logic that seems to make sense in the moment, but then doesn't
Hmm.
make any sense in the grander scheme of things.
That's right.
Somebody else jump in.
Yeah, pops. This is Larry.
Hey,
Well,
Larry.
you know, I like that. I like that reading today because you know that I mean it pinpoints me to the T. You know, because when the doors are closed, it seems like I always find a way to try to make something happen, even though it's the wrong thing. You know, because when I'm surrounded with powerful men, you know, then I see myself falling back. You know, instead of saying, "Hey, man, look, this is what I'm going through," and that's been my problem, speaking out, telling people, you know, "Hey, man, this is what I'm going through. This is what I need right now, and I need an ear." You know, I mean, I need an ear because sometimes I used to think that I can do everything on my own. You know, even though I know I got help there. No, I don't want your help. I'm gonna do this on my own. And every time I line up in prison. You know, but I know that this is the way that I can beat it by staying connected. You know,
Right.
and you always told me, pops, and it haunted me to this day, Larry. Don't stop. Don't give up. Don't stop doing good, man. Don't get tired of doing good. And
Right.
that's exactly when I fall back into the other topic that we're going to speak on because I want to speak on that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so glad you read that for me today. I
Yeah.
needed that.
Yeah.
I
It's a
need to hear
powerful.
that. I need to stay connected.
Yeah, Larry. And so that's a good key for you, man, is to stay connected. And I don't know if people can appreciate the effort that this kind of social media group, Tuesday night group, is not an easy situation, but we're trying to make it work because for us, our power is in our togetherness. And if we
Hmm.
surrender that, we've also surrendered our power. Hmm.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
listen, I want to go. Anybody else have a comment on the reading tonight?
Pop, I'm online. I just didn't get the reading because I was came on late.
Okay, I'm gonna read it again. Um, how
It's
many people?
Calvin.
Okay, Calvin. It sound like I heard Calvin's voice.
Somebody got to
Yeah,
put their
that's
phone
me.
on mute.
Okay, listen. Here we go. When the door is closed,
Hey, bro, here.
you must learn to slide across the crack of the sill, like a window sill. Or, human beings are creatures of habit. We do what we know, what is comfortable, what we think will work. There are, however, those occasions when our way is not the way to get us to the goal. When your way doesn't work, don't be disheartened. You must be willing to try another way. I'm going to read that again. When your way doesn't work, Larry, don't be
Yes, sir.
disheartened. You must be willing to try another way. Don't be discouraged when someone says no. Be willing to ask
Yeah.
somebody else. Always be willing to start at the bottom. Being willing does not mean you stay there. A door closes. A door closed does not mean that you've been cut off permanently. It is an obstacle and a tool to be used.
Okay, just get the number in and then
The
pop
key
it.
to all doors are within you. If you have faith in yourself, practice and patience will make you a mighty rock.
Somebody needs to mute their
Duval,
device.
Duval,
Yes,
y'all
sir.
you guys got too much talking in the background, man, and so we can't
All
hear.
right, all right. I'm just trying to help everybody out with the number. That's all.
No,
I'm sorry.
I get it.
All right.
So,
I got a comment, Pop.
go ahead on that.
This is Calvin.
Go ahead,
Hey,
Cal.
hello, Pop guys.
Hey,
Hey,
First of all,
hey. Oh, that's Duval.
hey, all right, how you guys doing? All right, I want to comment on that because, Pop, when I was locked up, I was trying to do the treatment thing. They closed the door on me by allowing me to be up out of the program. So what it was, I kept on with consistent. I got that door back open, but sometimes, when it's not time for you, you can't do nothing about that but try to hold on. So what I done is I went from that door closed on me to opening the door to the pop peoples, and I still gained something out of that because I got a chance to realize that I got my inner self to be able to understand that I need some assistance. I have to ask for help.
right.
So by me getting the help from you guys and your program, it gave me a chance to keep the other door closed in that prison.
Yeah.
Thank God that I was able to ask for the assistance that I needed from you and the guys that was going through the program.
Right.
So I got a chance to close that door and open another door in the program of knowing that I got power.
Yeah.
So now that I got the power and tapped into my personal power, I was able to move forward. Not only for that, I was able to get closer to my daughter when all the other doors was closed where I couldn't get a chance to see her.
Right.
So now I come to realize that you do have to ask for help for whatever you're going through, no matter whether it's little, big, or small. You got to ask somebody for some type of assistance. So with that, I just thank you guys, man, from giving me that extra boost when these other doors was closing on me, even when I couldn't find a place to live.
Right. Cal,
I kept going.
That's powerful, man.
I kept going. Go ahead, Pop.
No, I was gonna say, now you staying right there in your sister's house down south, right?
Yeah.
Man,
But it's so.
What I was gonna share, what everybody knows, that Calvin is completed his parole contract. He's totally off parole, and actually, that's right. And actually,
Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Calvin. I want you to register to vote down there because we really need every vote in this election coming up. And because you are off parole, you can legally register to vote. Don't miss your shot.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Pop, now this is the crazy part. I lost my ID. I got to probably come back to Minnesota to get my ID.
Well, maybe you do and maybe you don't, but I just want you to vote. Make sure you vote. I'm gonna move on.
Okay.
Hold up. Now, somebody else jump in.
Well, I got some feedback on it. The I was feeling like that at one time in my life when I was in Chicago. All the doors was closed on me, and I seen that my way wasn't working. So now subject to a different direction and I plant the seed in different soil, I harvest. That's when I came to Minnesota.
Hmm.
So
What year was that?
that was 99. Was it? Yeah, it was 99, 2000. I got here. And as soon as I got here, they threw me right in the system. I got right in the system.
Right.
Within 4 years later, I was in the system.
Hmm.
So, but I realized that my way wasn't working. I had to change. Back before the chemicals, by me being substance free, that's what for me to realize that what my way wasn't working. So I had to change it. And that's what I
Right.
did. That's 20 years
Right.
ago. And I had
And
to
you
went
know,
back to my old ways.
Somebody got to
this
mute the
Now,
device.
somebody out there has got way too much noise. All that stuff gets picked up,
yeah,
man. You got to mute your phone or whatever you're doing so that we can have a good conversation. Lewis is on now, and I can see you, boy.
How's it going,
Lewis,
Pop?
Lewis started his orientation for his job today, and so did Larry. Lou, why don't you give us some feedback on what's going on with you? Did you hear the reading?
Yeah. Well, what's going on with me right now? I had my orientation today for Second Chance, so I start Thursday. I'm excited about that. And the guy at Mr. Barbecue across the street, I'm going to start part time for him
Right,
starting on Friday. So I'm excited about that too. So there's
right.
2 jobs I done got in the past 2 weeks, and I'm very excited and blessed that I got this opportunity to come out and be successful and continue my path on my righteous journey.
That's
So
right.
I'm
Get
going to
up
keep
where
God
you at.
first,
Get up
moving in
where
the right
you at.
direction, do what I need to get done, and so I can get it done.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. Um, but remember back for a minute before you went to prison, and at that time, and Tony, you too. This is the time when we were using. I mean, I had time in the street. I mean, I did my thing too, right? And it ultimately never got me where I was trying to go. It it seemed like it was fun sometimes, but what I realized, what I thought was fun was really folly. It just took me a long time to get that. My point is that on tonight, and I'm gonna review with you last week. Last week I gave you 4 psychological strengths that you need in order to get to the good life. The 4 strengths were identity, um, intimacy, not sex, non-sexual intimacy. That's the dialogue, Larry, and talking with people, fellowshipping with people, and chopping things up and getting what you need out of it. Number 3 is finding a source of strength. What, DeAndre, what is your source of strength? What is that? You got to find that right there, and you got to find it in the context of your cultural identity. And number 4 is coping with racism or discrimination in America, because racism is real, and you have to learn how to cope with it. You can't let it take you completely out of your deal. It is what it is, and that can bump you off your square. Now, given those 4 psychological strengths, I'm going to tell you the situation that I'm dealing with right now with about 5 Popeyes right now. Can you get away with that noise? It keeps reminding me how many people I got. No, it's your screen that's saying it. Oh, all right. So here's what it is.
Hey, excuse me, hey Pop.
Yeah,
You say coping with racism and what?
coping with racism and discrimination in America. Somewhere along the line, you're going to face it, and we've all faced it. You can
Yeah.
face it for the color of your skin. You can face it for your political views. You can face it for your sexual preference. You can face it for a number of things, but somewhere you're going to face it, and you have to be able to cope with that thing. Does that
And
make
being
sense?
from Chicago,
Well, see, I mean, you know,
I'm
so
dealing
so
with it.
no, so here's what I want to share with you, and I want your feedback on it tonight.
What was
I
number
got
5, Pop?
number 4. There's only 4.
It's only four.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
The first one is identity. The second one is
Identity, intimacy, finding strength, and coping with racism and difficulty in America.
discrimination, racism, and
Discrimination in America.
discrimination. Yes. Now watch this. What I want to share. I got about 5 guys right now, 5 good brothers in POP. POP has maybe 60 guys that are, coming and going with POP, coming in and out, but we got about a 60-man roster of pop guys. 5 of those guys right now are 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 messing with chemicals, and it's slowly taking them back toward the penitentiary. Right? Now, I want to share with you. Here's my conundrum. I've been with you in prison. I watch you. I talk with you. I read your homework week in and week out. I build a relationship with you inside of the institution, and that's an investment. With everybody who's online right now, I have invested
Yep.
in you, and so what I like to see. I'm not being cocky about it, but I'm just telling you the truth. I like to see a return on my investment.
Right.
That's right.
And so just right now, I got 5 guys who are working, but they're using. Working and using for my guys can be sex or alcohol or other drugs. And so I want you to hear when I'm talking about using or abusing, I'm talking about sex and drugs and alcohol. Are you following me?
Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a brother right now. The brother spent a long time in prison, man, a long time. He was at the pop house. We had to ease him out of there. He found another place to live. They had to ease him out of there. He's now on the floor somewhere, and I know that it won't be long before he's out of there and homeless. And I'm talking about days from now, if not today. So
Wow.
what? So I have already said to him, and I called Turning Point, a treatment facility, and asked them to do me a favor and take this guy in inpatient, right?
Right.
And I said, man, why don't you start all over again? Rewind it before it gets too far. Mon says, I see you. Before this thing gets too far, I want you to rewind the tape, get sober, and we'll start over again. Does that make sense?
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his addiction won't allow him to take good counsel at this point. He's believing that he can continue to do what he's doing. And because he's still sleeping on somebody's floor, he's still not rock bottom. Rock bottom is when you don't have nobody's floor to sleep on. You just outside. You're homeless. Now, my situation is this. I know this is a good brother because I've seen him at his best. I know he can be successful because he's an intelligent man. Yet, if I allow him to just go back to prison without taking a serious step, then the return on my investment cannot be realized. I'm just telling you the truth right here.
Yep. Preach. Preach.
That's right.
And so here's my options. In some cases, over the years, I have developed some relationships with some POs, and they're good relationships. All POs you know, but wow. And I've developed some relationships, and all the POs respect us, even though they don't like us. But
Yeah.
I have a PO where I can say, you know what? We got a guy here. This is a pop guy, and the guy is, you know, he needs help, and I need you to allow me to work out a plan for him. And I've only had to do this like twice, and both times it came. I'll give you one example. One example was Malik. You remember Malik? And Malik was
Yeah.
over at Pop Two. Malik is a roofer and all of this. Malik was at Pop Two, and Malik was using. And I had to take Malik out of there and say, look, son, you got two things. You can either go to treatment or you got to pack up your clothes and get out of here right now. Which one you take? So he took treatment, and that got him back on the good foot and got him through college. He graduated with his bachelor's degree. Now Malik has gone on and is using again. He's out there now.
Damn.
But listen, but the degree is still his. And if he can find a way back, he don't have to start from the bottom because he's got some credentials. But I had to take a hard step with Malik. Now, this guy I'm telling you about, I may have to take a hard step with him because otherwise he's going to drink and smoke up his sobriety. And if ever I get back to prison, I would hate to see one of these five guys sitting in class looking at me crazy, like saying, Pop, how come you didn't help me? You knew I was using.
Yep.
You know how addicts always blaming somebody else for their issue.
Right. I've been dealing with it
Yeah.
my whole life.
So what do you think? What do y'all think about that situation?
Get him. Get
I
him.
I agree with
Apprehend him.
what you said.
Because if you don't do
Well,
it, who's
first,
going to do it, Shane? I tried to do
first
the
of all,
same thing
Pop,
with
I
my
think
brother. And I've
Okay,
been on this foot ever since.
let's take one at a time. Tony, you go.
Well, apprehend him. Do everything in your power to get him because it takes one hit to lose your life. One of them episodes, it can be ended. I have invested a numerous amount of time in my brother. And as much as he clowns, I won't give up on him. Just like you said, for the time that you invested, you want something in return. So I contacted the state, I contacted the Department of Corrections in Moorhead. My brother's
Right,
on probation. I
right,
spoke to his parole or probation officer and told him of his problem. And they
right,
told me that they can't do nothing. That's a issue that he got to resolve himself. I recommended
right,
treatment for him. They told
right.
me he got to do it himself. So
Now watch this. Now, as you know, the COVID-19 has created a different dynamic. And so guys right now uh, don't really have to go see a PO right now because, you know, of the social distancing. You're doing a telecall or this and that. Now, the ISR guys, their POs are still riding the street on it. Larry, your guy is still riding over there checking on you, right?
He just left.
yeah,
Did he do a UA?
Now he ain't do no UA. He know already did a couple of UAs this week.
Oh, but he has UA'd you this week.
I've done 2A's, yes.
So the ISR guys, they're still going at the thing the same way. But regular parole guys, I don't think they're going after it the same way. But somebody has got, I think it's at the pop house. You guys got too many phones on and
yeah.
getting a lot of echo, and you know it's breaking up our conversation. One phone has to be muted. All of them but one has to be muted, and then when your time comes, take the mute off. Anyway, um, let me go here with you. I had a guy this is about a year ago. His PO was very cool with me. Um, we had a long term relationship. I had to say to the PO, you know what? I need your assistance. This guy's gonna blow his success, and I need you to get him on those that number system. You know when you know when your number comes up, you got to go do a UA.
Yeah.
Y'all are quiet.
Color
Color
code.
I
code.
say yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
go ahead,
Color
Pop.
code.
I'm here.
Don't be quiet on me because I'm gonna tell you. So see,
Color code.
my my situation with pop guys is a little bit different than yours because sometimes you guys will build a relationship around just friendship or fellowship. My relationship is that, but more. Um, I have to know what everybody's situation is, not just one. You know your situation, but I know just a little bit about everybody's situation. And what I'm saying to you is, I haven't made this phone call yet about this guy, and I'm not sure because of COVID exactly what is going to go down. I may have to find a treatment facility that will do at least outpatient treatment. But I can tell you, if I don't do something, and this, I'm up at night thinking about this because I don't want to lose you because I failed to take a direct action. Does that make sense?
Right.
Hmm.
I don't hear nobody.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
sir.
makes a
Yes,
lot of
sir.
sense, Pop.
Yeah.
Hey, Pop,
A lot
that
of
So
make a
sense.
lot of sense, man. This is Eric Washington.
go ahead, Eric. Go.
Listen, man, I was just talking to a federal PO today about one of the clients,
Right.
and our conversation was the PO said, I don't want to give up on him, but I went with him. We're not getting a return.
Right.
I said, I'm riding with him all the way, right?
Right.
Because
So love it, love it.
it breaks down to the point is, hey man, you gotta make the decision. I can't do it for you. I told the PO man I ain't gonna write a check for him, but I've been suggesting a lot of stuff, and the same things that I'm suggesting is the same thing the PO was suggesting to him to let me know me and the PO on the same page. But
Right.
I don't want to feel like I'm giving up ever because no one gave up on me, Shane. It was
Yeah.
always me giving up. You've
Wow.
been there for me. My pop brothers are there, a phone call away, and I want that for others. So I'm reaching back.
Yeah.
But man, I know the feeling of man when it's real tight and it's like there's nothing else I can do
Right.
short of doing it for you. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm not gonna do that. But man, I want you to make it. We had that conversation today, brother Shane.
Man, well, listen, you can't know how helpful that was to me because I'm just right just a hot minute away from calling this guy's PO and saying, look, we got to work something out here because I don't want to lose this guy's too valuable, right? He's too valuable to surrender back to the penitentiary, man. Now,
Praise God.
wait a minute. I also, I got a little struggle with, being the police or trying to, somehow,
Yep.
I don't like, I mean, I lived a half of my life looking for the police every day. And so I struggle with it, man. Even though I got some relationships, I struggle with it because I'm out of character in a way. But being out of character is a feeling. Going back to the penitentiary is a reality.
That's right.
Franco,
Yeah.
what do you have on that?
Well, personally, I got that situation I had reached out to you about, so I got a lot on it. One of the last things you had said when I first chimed in or tuned into the meeting was that an addict is always trying to blame somebody else for what they're going through.
Right.
And so, in my personal experience with the person that I'm dealing with, that is exactly what's happening. If I wasn't this, if I didn't do that, or, somehow it's always coming back to me for this person's choices, this person's behavior, this person's addiction. And I'm in a better place in my life to not to know that I'm not responsible for any of that, and to know that what I struggle with though is that his his choices. I struggle with somebody else's choices, and it's
Right.
nothing I can control. It's not in my power to control somebody else.
Right.
But I want success for the people that I love and care about.
Right.
However, if they're not in tune with getting success for themselves, then I have to learn how to step back from that. And my problem is I take it personal because when I have a personal relationship with somebody, it's hard not to take it personal.
Absolutely. And that was well put. Can somebody got more feedback there? Lolita, what you got?
Hey, okay.
Well, you know what? That's why they call you Pop. That's why they call you Pop, because you have to take the stance of the father in this situation. Sorry about that. I understand your feeling kind of double standarding, like I'm not the police.
Right.
I'm not the police, but I am the father.
Wow. Wow.
So
Listen to
being the
that.
Wow.
father, then you have to stand in the father's role in
Whoa.
these situations.
Hmm. My
Or
Lord.
just like you said, it takes 30 seconds to get 30 years.
That's right. That's right. That's it.
That's
Wow.
so
What's
much.
going on, Mr. Hunt?
Wow. Wow. That's a
That was
good
so
word.
good.
I received
Hey,
that.
Pops.
Go ahead.
This is Larry.
Go ahead, Larry.
You know,
Oh yeah.
about this here using and stuff like that. Sometimes, a person when they in their addiction, such as myself,
Larry, stop. I want
you,
you to say me. Sometimes when I am in my
me,
addiction, go ahead.
when I was in my addiction, I didn't want to hear nothing from anyone, and I almost died out there. I tried to get in treatment on my own. I went way out to Rochester and all that. They turned me down because of my level.
Right.
So instead of me reaching out to Pop and the Pop guys, I decided that I wasn't gonna go and register no more, and that I was gonna get a warrant on me so I can turn myself in so I can get rescued. And so that's what I did in the prime of my using, because I didn't want to die. I had reached that point that I didn't want to die. I wanted to live. And so by me getting arrested, that's what I did. I saved my life, and when I went back, I came back to see you, and guess what? You didn't ridicule me. You didn't do none of that. And you just looked at me and said, it's good that you back, Larry,
Yeah.
back in the class. So, and I really appreciate that. So now I know, because I know this thing will call me in a minute if I don't stay connected and keep doing the right thing, what I'm supposed to be doing, talking to the Pop guys, telling them what's going on with me. But I wanted to shine all that. I had power right there, and I ran away from my
That's
power.
it. That's it.
I just surrendered it back to the street. So when I got
Wow.
out this time, I had so much power around me and say, hey, come on, I got you, I got you, I got you. And
Right.
I'm looking at this like, man, this can't be true, man. And so good things starting to happen all over again, and I know I'm not very far away from being out there on the street, but guess what? It's in my heart, it's in my mind. I'm not gonna pick up, I'm not gonna use no more.
Yes,
I
sir.
rather be dead, before I do that.
Oh,
I'm not
brother.
gonna do that.
Oh, brother.
You know. I said I'm not going to be like a dog returning to his own
Good.
vomit. I'm not going to do it.
Man.
And I know I got a lot of good brothers, and I
Say
know
that.
they help.
Say that.
So I'm
Larry,
just
you're talking
grateful to
good
be here
right now.
today.
You're taking us to church right now. I see
Preach.
Will
Yeah,
has
I'm
jumped
just
in.
grateful to
Will, it's
be
good to
here.
see your face. I don't know if you've been
That
following
was
along,
good.
but if you have something, go ahead.
No, I've been like out and in, so I'm catching up now, pops, trying to
Yeah.
get a a sense of what's been said, and and process it so I could, you know, if possible, give some back. 'Cause right now, I don't have anything.
Well, Will, but it's good to see your face, and I hope the family is doing well. And make sure you send my love to Akithia and Samari. We really miss them
Yeah,
guys over at the house, and I
you
know
know,
Purpose is hollering about she missed the Samari and
yeah,
this and that.
hey, they be sneaking and talking every day. You know, they
Uh-huh,
be on the phone. You know, I catch them on the video phone every day. You know,
uh-huh.
when I go in a room to see what Samara's in there doing, you know, I see Purpose face. Hi, Will. You know, you see me when I walk in the door. But you know what I want to say, you know, Pops. So, and you know how I be like, you know, reading a lot of information about, you know, this coronavirus and all that. You know, I try to stay breast up on it, and you know, I just wanted to know what you thought about that what they said from the White House uh, that by June they projected 3,000 people to die daily.
Yeah, I have heard that, and I'm still processing that information. I'm gonna hold up response on that because we in this other subject, but we had to come back to that, Will, because
Okay.
it's so powerful. Chris, have you been hearing us?
No, I just got into the conversation because I was doing my online treatment thing.
Okay, so but I want you to stay in. Duval, are you hearing us?
Yes, Pop. Yes, I hear you.
What do you have?
Man, I mean, Bob, with that, and I mean, Bob, you like you said, it's like it ain't the drug addiction, none of that stuff. But Bob, with the sex part, in the relationship, trying to build with that, and trying to communicate and also talk to talk to people about situations like that,
Hmm.
and you like I said, you just probably just hit the nail on the coffin and read my mail. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I have to get Duval together first, and so that's what I've been struggling with right there alone.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you. That was some truth right there, and I appreciate that from you. Because in our addictions, sometimes our addiction is sexual and chemical.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Uh huh.
it's either or, and
Yeah.
we have to do. I mean, I just don't want to seem like I just came flying down here from above. I had a
Right.
I had a sexual addiction, and it took a long time for me to get that under control. You know what I mean? And partially, what I realized is that it was really I had low self esteem. I didn't look like I had low self esteem. I don't think, but I did because I didn't value myself well enough to stand up over the folly and the foolishness. I dived into it instead of standing up over it. Now,
Yes.
in the years that I've been out of that life, I've been able to accomplish, several things. And I wonder
Right.
sometimes to myself, wonder if I could have got out of there, Lolita, 20 years earlier, or 15 years earlier. What could I, what I mean? And sometimes I won't lie to you. Sometimes it bothers me,
Yeah.
and which is why I refuse to grow old. I'm not going to do it. Y'all can do it. I'm not going to do it because you know what? I got too much other stuff I still want to do, and I don't have no time for old stuff. Uh,
That's right.
and so
Preach.
people can, grow old all they want to, and I'll come and check on you.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna
But
drive over there in the 550, see about you, but I don't want to grow old with you. I want to try to stay young as I can, as long as I can.
that's right.
I don't know
For
where that
sure.
came from, but that might be helping somebody. But listen to this. Um, uh, I got a guy, man. This guy is one more binge away, smoking meth,
Yes.
He's one more binge away from blowing his job, from destroying the relationships that he's patched up, uh, and
Excuse
killing
me.
off his own efficacy, how you feel about yourself. Dope kills that off. Look, you don't have to think nothing about yourself. When you use and when you smoking, you just want to smoke. You don't care nothing about how you look, who's
That's
talking
right.
about you, or nothing.
That's right.
Well, I'm
That
trying
didn't
to
matter.
do better than y'all saying anything. I know that.
That
That's
didn't
right.
matter. Yeah, you're right. That didn't matter.
So
But it mattered today.
come on, Larry. But now here's my deal.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
I think that I can talk with the agent and work something out for him where he doesn't have to lose everything, but it will rein him in a little bit.
Yeah, I think that'll save his life.
And well, I mean, and so what would you want me to do, Larry, if it was you?
If it was me, I would want you to reach out for me. Don't let me fall all the way down like that. I would want you to get me some help. You know, like my mama and grandmother always say, you know, I used to pray for you when you couldn't pray for yourself. So it paid off too. It paid off. So yeah, I would want you to do whatever you had to do to save me. You know, yes, that's what I
It's
would
tough love.
wanted to do.
Yeah, that's tough. Some tough
Yeah.
love. Ananiah, what you got, son? We can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
I'm sorry, it was my mic. All right.
Okay.
There you
Some portions of the conversation just kind of made me think about what my life was
Right.
before prison.
Right.
Now, I was a banger. You know, I banged.
Right.
I sold and used drugs. Um, I had a violent youth.
Right.
You know, for just plain and simple. I had a violent youth. I mean, I saw a lot of violence. I was around a lot of people who did a lot of violence. You know what I mean? So it was like it was really normal to me. It was like it was nothing for me to get what I felt I deserved or wanted. You
Right.
know, so but and then spending all of that time in prison for something that I really didn't do, right? Was kind of like this is what you get for getting away with everything that you got away with, you know? But
Yeah.
at the same time, you know, the time allowed me to sit down with myself and really look at that ignorance. Really look at it. Look at the ignorance of the desire to just completely destroy myself. You don't know that that is what you're doing when you're all in the mix of. I mean, I didn't know that that's what I was doing when I was all in the mix. You know, you do what you do to get your money, you have your little fun or what you consider fun. That's only based on what I believe in.
go. That is
So spending all of that time in prison is like an eye-opening and mind-opening thing. And I say that because I had to sit with myself and play the tape of everything that I did in my life. I had to look at that tape of everything that was done to me. I had to look at that tape of everything that I witnessed. And I had to figure out the right and the wrong in it all. I had to reason with it all.
Right.
The change started happening for me when I allowed myself to just kind of go through all of the pain, the shame, the embarrassment, um, the having faced some of the people who I had hurt, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
after all of that long, torturous like thing, you gotta and this is around the time when I was in college and everything. I was getting
Can't hear
money.
you, Ananiah.
You can't hear me?
No.
Mic is on. I'm sorry. I think maybe we making some. You hear other background noise?
Oh, here you good now.
Okay. So
You guys at
so
the clubhouse, you got to calm down over there, man. We hear all of that.
yeah. So this is I'm just putting this up for you guys who got mics on. Turn them off, please.
Right.
All
Turn
right.
your mic off until it's your turn to speak, and then we can get a clean conversation.
Yeah. All right. That's not backwards to you, is it?
No, you got it right.
All right. So all that. So getting into the pop, it was like you were reading my mail, pop.
What's
You
going
know,
on, brother?
it was like you was just
How you
talking to
doing?
me when I was in those classes. You know, pointing out every little thing, and it was like is this man criticizing me?
Right,
You know,
right,
is he really criticizing? Is he really trying to tell me what's up with me?
right.
Now, I might have been thinking that, but I didn't say it. But the truth of the matter is, I'm glad that you did it, Pop. I'm glad you came
Mm,
in the way that you did
wow.
because
I
you
gotta
put
walk over
me
here
in
by
my
Uncle
place
house.
Mm,
with how you taught me, with what
wow.
you taught me, and telling me why you were teaching it to me.
My
All
goodness.
that time I spent in the Pop classes, all that time that I just kind of sat with myself, I learned to accept what was, and I grew out of that. Once
Yeah,
I accepted everything what it was, I just kind of grew out of it. You know what I mean? So, and it's like I look at things that I used to do and I frown. It's like, ooh, I used to do that.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
Me
Like,
too.
yeah,
like hard, like drugs and hanging out in clubs all the time. And it's
All
like,
right.
was I really
Right,
doing that?
right.
You know, it seems so foreign now. You know, it's like
I
I have
do.
no desire, no taste, and it kind of disgusts me, really. You know,
Right,
so
right.
so it's like so when you talk about these guys who spend a lot of the time in prison and they come out and not even out long and they begin to use immediately, it's like I think that they missed a step.
Yeah,
I think a step was missed.
that's
You
good.
know, um, but I think what it was with me is that all of that shame and pain that I lived with for so many years. And when I got to the point where I just kind of gave it to God and I accepted it was what it was, and there's nothing I can do to change it. So ain't no need of me harping on it.
Right.
It gave me room to kind of grow.
Let me go back to what you just said, missing a step. This is why
Yeah,
I started out the conversation that we're having now from last week. I've been wanting to go here for a few weeks, but I wanted to set it up. The first principle in the four psychological strengths that you must have in order to
Identity.
be successful is identity. And so a lot of guys will recover and create an identity for themselves, a new identity while you're in prison. And that identity looks so different to everybody else in prison, they start wondering about you because you ain't acting like everything is bothering you, or you ain't cussing at somebody or beefing with somebody all the time. This is about finding your identity and beginning to walk in that. And
Yeah,
so this is my struggle.
yes.
And that was powerful, Ananiah. Thank you.
that was some good stuff. That was
This
some
is
good
my
stuff.
struggle
Yeah, yeah, I
here
like that. I like that.
is that some of the guys, the step that was missing for some guys is they adopted a superficial identity in prison that was enough to get you through the time, but not deep enough to really know self.
That's right.
And
Okay,
in the
come on,
process
Pete.
of that, when you come out, and I'll just be honest with you, when my days in the street was mostly about relationships with females, right?
Say
Now,
that, Pop.
I'm gonna tell you something. Most of the time, we were really more interested secretly in putting a demonstration on for other men about the
Yeah.
women that we had versus actually having a relationship with that woman.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's still like
That's right.
it's the same thing going on today.
Now, I'm gonna say to you, so to the extent, listen, that your sexuality is tricking you up, it's to that extent that you haven't identified your own self and chasing after all of them panties. I'm just telling you the truth.
That's
Is
right.
really you trying to show other men that you're capable of getting some.
Yeah.
And all you're left with, all you've done is copped another nut, but you haven't grown. You're in a mess. You're in a pickle. All this stuff is coming against you. I don't hear
Right.
nobody.
Okay,
I'm
come
Right.
on,
preaching,
preach
Pop,
good.
Yeah,
preaching.
And then
that's
and
right.
look, that when I was a younger, there was an old song. I used to love this song. It was kind of the blues, Larry. This
Uh-huh.
guy would say, "Trying to love too, sure ain't
Ain't
easy."
easy to do.
Easy.
Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Man, love
And then me
you.
and my
Like
little friends,
that.
we would put in more numbers, right?
Yeah.
But watch this. Watch this. He said, "Hey, it started out as lots of fun, but now it's got me on the run. This jumping in and out of bed is messing with my head. Trying to love you."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Don't play
You
Ah,
with
got
me.
my attention.
Don't play with me
yeah,
today. I'm starting to get the hang of this social distancing stuff. And I'm
that's
gonna just
right.
tell you right here,
Uh-huh.
right now. Look. If you don't hear this, you gotta get with your own program. You gotta identify. Wait a minute. What is your psychological strength? I'm gonna tell you something else. Let me tell you something else. My wife is an accomplished person. My wife is a doctor, and so I've spent now 18 years, going on 19 years, in the company of a brilliant doctor.
Right.
So when we go out or I feel like I'm getting rhythm, say rhythm,
Rhythm.
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 from somebody else, these women are very accomplished women, right? These are doctors and
Right.
lawyers because they know Shane knows how to keep a good house with an educated woman. I'm just trying to tell you the truth about something.
Hmm.
And,
God.
and to the,
Hello.
and to the extent, look, to the extent that you elevate your standing, then you can isolate the public and your desire to impress them versus your desire to impress yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Go ahead, preach, Pop.
You can have,
That's
look,
what I'm
I
talking
have
about.
women friends. Miss Elizabeth from Africa. That's my friend. If she needed something and I had it, she would have it. I mean, wouldn't be asking nobody, can I do it? That's my friend, and she would have it because that's who she is to me. And I have other women friends, but I'm not in sexual relationships with them. I am in intimate relationships with them. We talk, we share things, but we don't have to go to bed. Can anybody hear that?
Yes,
I
Yes,
yes.
do.
sir.
Can I speak on that, Shane?
Come on.
I was just watching the brother Louis Farrakhan,
Yeah.
and the brother broke something down so cold blooded it didn't even make no sense, man. He said
Come
because
on.
a man's true, the thing to make a man is not a woman.
Right.
He said because see, all brothers think because they like what's between a woman's legs that makes them a man.
Right.
He said what makes a man is the way he think, is to think positively, and to watch that thinking come to fruition and see your vision, and watch it grow, and watch your
Right.
thinking grow. Because
Right.
the penis is not meant to think. It's your head is meant to think. So if you can't manage your head, you mean something gonna manage you.
Now
Like you
look,
say,
so DeAndre, that was so heavy, man. But I want you to take that advice for yourself because I don't want to lose
I
you. I don't want you going back to prison no more, man.
I I
I'm I'm as tired of it as you are.
I know.
I feel like, look, we're trying everything.
I
Come on,
know.
man. The one thing that we're not trying is for you to get a deep understanding of yourself and allow there to be a fence around you.
Right.
Somebody else, Lolita, what you got?
I, well, okay. I have something to say after Lolita.
All right. Okay, we can't hear you, sis. Okay, Rhea, go ahead. Lolita's not in.
Okay, so
Hold up.
here it is. When I was listening to the reading and what we're talking about today, I I when talking about the father and pops and everything is you reached out and grabbed me when I was through. I was through. I was I I went to prison. I was my plan was going back out there, and you reached for me and brought me home, and I was doing very good, living with you and sister in tears. I let myself think I'm doing good. I nothing, this was going to take this drink, you know, and it was all bad. But part of the reason why I came back in so quick is because I had got a taste of the good life when I lived
Mm,
with you and Sister Abby. And
wow.
and and that made what I was doing just made myself sick. So in the hospital and said I need to go to treatment, you know,
Yeah.
and get back on my square. And that's why I'm here right now, but I am stepping back up. And my brother you I because he reaches for me every day.
Mm,
You know? And that's unheard of in the life I lived.
yeah. Yeah. But then at the end of the day, you're my sister, and I love you, and I want you to be all right. And I can't make all your decisions for you, but I can support you in making good ones. And you're doing a good job. Somebody give her a little dap right now. Just so
Man,
cute.
All right, all right.
Yes, Lord.
Lolita,
Thank you,
Rhea,
Lolita,
Jesus.
jump
Rhea.
Well, we lived a
hmm?
different kind of life. It was a facade. That's
right,
what the whole thing was. It was a facade. And everybody, just like
Yo.
everybody here on the call, you did something. That's why we in this collaboration together this evening. So, and I just wanted to speak on the reading. Um, that's why we're here together. It's very important that we stay together.
right.
It's so important.
That's right,
And I even found myself, being here, ostracized from everybody in this
right,
past month. I found myself a group of movers and shakers that it
right,
costs a lot of money to just even get on the Zoom and play with them like this.
right,
And just being with the young women, because I'm like, y'all, don't put me in no old women, child.
right, right.
I am with a group of professional young women, movers and shakers, and they're doing things. But once again, we're together, we're connecting. And
Yeah.
that's what we all going to do. That's what we all are doing. We have to stay connected. It's very important.
That's it.
Let me say this to y'all right here. I just because I don't want to be hiding nothing, and I just want to be transparent. Now, one guy right now tomorrow, I'm going to be reaching out to his agent,
Yep.
and
Save
and
them.
I have to take the agent into my confidence, and we have to get this guy at least in outpatient treatment and on the number system for UAs. Um, and I
Right.
mean, Lolita, I don't want that responsibility. I don't want it. That wasn't what I got in for. But now here I am. And I'm going to accept the role that I have to play. And
Yeah.
if I hurt your feelings, it's because I'm trying to love you beyond the point of your hurt feelings.
Yes, I understand.
And I
Because
want everybody to know, everybody in here to know right now, I want to be transparent about it. If for something were to happen with
that's
me
right.
and my family, I would need you to come in and say, Pop, you're not yourself. Come come back to yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
That's right.
Man, that's deep.
And so,
Yep.
at this point, I'm just saying, I don't want him to feel like, and I can't say what he's gonna feel.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm just gonna have to go where I gotta go with it, and that's what's up. And I want everybody that's in the group to know. And if it were you, I would do the same thing about you too, and that's just it.
Hey, I
There
got
you go.
feedback on
Well,
that.
that's Pop. That's love in your heart for us.
That's
So
right.
And
But
I'd have been
Yeah.
upset if you didn't do it for me.
Yeah,
hey, Pops,
yeah,
that falls under the criteria of you being Pop.
yeah.
That's your job.
Wow.
You
Hey,
jump. That's
well,
it. That's part of the
That's
job.
it.
I feel you. I
That's
feel you.
love, baby. That's love.
I feel you. Well,
Islam, TX.
That's
But
all.
I
It's love.
understand his feelings. I understand his feelings because you know where we come from. It'd be like, don't play no popo on me.
right, right, right,
So
Right.
I
right,
right,
right.
understand how you
right.
feel, but you got to wear your crown.
Yeah.
Yep.
My Lord.
Say that again.
That's
Lolita,
your
I mean,
job.
right about it. And so, and then with my guys here, some of my guys keep on going to prison because of a failed domestic relationship. Listen to what I'm saying. The woman you choose is always somebody who's kind of beneath you. Watch this. And because of that, she can't hold you up to no standard because she don't have no standard herself.
Ooh, preach.
Mm-mm-mm.
Ooh,
Say
Yeah.
that, Pop.
Yeah.
And
Say
then,
that.
Yeah.
thank
and
you.
Okay.
then, and then when you get
You
tired
sure
of
hit it.
that, you reach out for some other victim that you can
So,
bring into your web. And again, it's for you to make other men feel like, look what I'm doing. But you don't really realize what you're doing is foolish, and it's what sends you to the penitentiary every time.
Hmm.
And if you
That's
don't mess
right.
around here and get a grip, it's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
well, Pop, I like that. I like that.
That's
So
good
you just
stuff.
throwing a lifeline.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh, you know, I want to get everybody in here. Tim, are you still there? Tim's not there. Montez, I want you to jump in, and then we'll jump in after that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate what everybody's talking about. I just want to remind everybody too that it's also Cinco de Mayo, and just
Right,
a little educational moment.
right.
We celebrate Cinco de Mayo. It's also referred to as the Battle of Puebla because in 1862, the Mexican natives defeated the French army. What happened was Mexico got into a debt with Spain, Britain, and France.
Hmm.
At the time, France was under the rule of Napoleon III.
Yeah.
France and Britain, or no, Britain and Spain worked something out with Mexico so they could get paid back. But France wanted to make an example, so they sent troops over. They were having some success in the beginning, but in 1862, um, the Mexican natives won the war against them, and so that's the reason why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo
Cinco de
now.
Mayo. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Right.
And thank you, brother, for that history tip. We all need it. And our cultural identity is where our strength is at. And
Yes.
often you have to go into your identity to gather up your strength, finding your source of strength. Go ahead. Will, you
Other than
got
that, I just appreciate everything that is being talked about. I understand the code of not wanting to tell somebody, but I think that the biggest word that we can ourselves say is help. The word help, because most of the times, for coming from where we come from, that's not a word that's
something?
well received. or there's not a response when we do have cries for help, and so some of us don't know how to cry out for help ourselves. So we'd rather stay stuck in our shame, stay stuck in our addiction, stay stuck in our thinking that, somewhere in us we do good things. And so that excuses the bad things. There's this thing in treatment that refers to the good guy stance when you say, hey, I can't be that bad because I do this and I did that and I fed the poor, etc. But what it's really saying is, I can't I can't accept my struggles. I can't sit down with myself and point them out. I can't let nobody else point them out. So I'm going to tell you about all the good things that I do,
Right.
and that
Right.
and
That's
I
excellent.
can think of that for myself in different ways in my different life and my different struggles, when I didn't want to face any reality, and I relate that. I don't have a chemical dependency history. However, I relate that to an addiction. When I'm in that active cycle of thinking that I know best and I'm playing everybody and I can get over on everybody and nobody can see me for who I really am, I know that that's in a pattern and that's in a cycle of thinking. But knowing what I know now, I just choose to be responsible with that. And so today, where I am, I can name my feelings. I can sit alone with my feelings. I take the time to feel them. Actually, I say hello to them, and then I let them marinate for whatever time they need to, and then I say goodbye to them. And I
Mm.
take that information that I learned from sitting with those
You need
feelings, and then
cup?
I apply it to the next situation. And
Shoot.
then that gives me strength. That
It was up there too.
that
I don't know.
is engraved into my identity today. And so that's a building point that I keep on building on.
That's powerful, man, and you can't resist it. I mean, every day, you start out fresh every day, saying, today I'm going to win, like I did yesterday. You can hold on to yesterday and what happened that was good, but today I'm going to win today too. You get what I mean? And after a
Yes.
while, you have a series of successive days that come into years and
Yeah.
decades of success.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Say hi,
That's
everybody.
good.
Will,
That's
what you
good.
got? Let me get Will in here real fast. We can't hear you, son. You got your mic on?
Unmute myself. You know what I mean? I was following instructions. You
Yeah,
know,
yes, sir.
yes, yeah. I'm following instructions.
All
Uh,
right.
uh,
Ananias writing notes up here.
right. I hear and I obey.
Yes, sir.
So, so uh, pops. I was thinking about
He
my
didn't
own
get it.
life, and when
He
I
didn't
think
get it.
it was
But it
someone
was cup up there though
Mary,
when I
stop
first
talking
came
in the
in.
background.
someone quoted Mr. Farrakhan. I forgot who it was, but
DeAndre.
yeah, DeAndre. But you know, brothers like that, and you, of course, have done so much for me uh, in terms of providing me a standard to look up to
Mm.
to aspire to. But what I learned um, as I'm growing up, I learned that my real growth comes when I create my own standard,
Hmm.
and that I have a standard by which I can hold myself accountable to. Because
Hmm.
when I have a standard of my own, that's when I can start to impose structure on myself. Because
Right.
it doesn't have to come from without anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's great when I don't have anything. It's great because, these standards we can aspire and follow and for the rest of our life and benefit and get tremendous growth out of it. But then it's been a different level of growth for me when I, created my standards of my own because I recognize no one really knows what I aspire to be within my heart but me.
Yeah.
So when I create these standards for myself, it starts to dictate the kind of structure I need in order to get there.
Right. That's exactly right. And I mean, that was well said, and it's so true. It's kind of like when you rode a bike for your first time, and I don't know some if you ever started out on training wheels. You know the training wheels are so helpful. I remember Purpose with training wheels, and she just tore that bike up. But then we was kind of trying to teach her some things and show her how to go, when to put on the brakes, what to look out for. But after a time, it was time for to take off them training wheels, and then based on what she now understands, listen to let me say it again. Based on what she now understands, she was able to then bike ride in a way that was healthy and proper for her. And this is what I think that you are describing. And in some ways, you have described a part of what POP has done in some ways, is provided a guiding post, and to help you see and understand what could happen. You could ride by yourself, and you can have a good time, and this and that. But we had to provide a lot of unction and encouragement
No question.
while you were locked up.
No
And
question.
then even sometimes only some come out with the training wheels off, but most still have training wheels on when they come out. And so we're staying connected with you, even if you still have the training wheels on, trying to coax you, cajole you, uh, encourage you, or force you to pull off them training wheels and stand up like a man or a woman, and walk for yourself in respect and in love.
No question. That's a
That's
beautiful
right.
thing, Pop. I mean, man, I love you, Pops. I really appreciate you, man. And Muncie, I want to say something to you, man. Is that you know, I love it when you speak, man. You have such a deep introspection, and reflection. And I was telling Pops about you one day when we were talking. I just think that the brain trust we have created
Yeah,
and continue to produce in POP is just growing us up.
right.
And
Yeah,
that if we're not involved, if we're not participating, like Lola said, um, we do ourselves a disservice because we can't get the full range of what's here anywhere else. You see
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
right. That's
We're
yeah,
right.
growing
That's
each other up. We're growing
yeah,
each other up. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
yeah,
And
yes. That's
it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a
yeah.
beautiful thing.
And
Nobody's perfect.
no, that's right. And Will, that was well spoken, and certainly, you have added to my life, and I'm so grateful for it. And all of the rest of you have, I've taken something from you and then added to my life, and you are really a part of me. I don't know why I'm wired like this, and I kind of feel like somehow God was always heading me this direction, and He had to take me through my own drama and have me overcome that before I could get where I'm at now. And so, but while I'm here, what I want to do is be as effective as I possibly can be, so that you can take the training wheels off and get on about your business and go on about your life, the good life.
that's right.
That's
The
right.
good.
Stop
That's
allowing
right. You preaching
alcohol
good, Pop.
and
That's
meth
good.
and females to steal your personal power.
Yeah,
And if your female is threatening to call your PO, what it means is, well, you call the PO yourself. You be the one to do it. Straighten it out and then dump her.
Mm.
right.
You can't be up here whining and complaining. Now you gave her the information and now she's going to use it against you. That's not your
Uh
woman.
huh. That's right.
And I
That's
don't care.
it.
You can like her, from a distance, but she can't be your woman. She cannot share your bed. If she will threaten to call the police on you, that woman will always talk like that. She'll always do it. And really, she's overcoming her own hurt and her own pain. And the men that
Uh
have
huh.
dogged her out over the years, and now she's feeling like you want to dog me too, and now I'm gonna make
Uh
you
huh.
pay. Somebody's got to pay for all
That's a subtractor.
or a divider. And I want you to
Right.
know, there's some of these guys here, y'all are messing around here, and you think it's fun. You seeing one guy's ex-woman, you seeing her, or you messing with her, and you thinking one thing, and it's just a friendship thing, but you're
That's
being
ratchet.
played. You're being played, man.
That's
And
ratchet.
you can't allow yourself to be some tool for a game that's going on that you don't really know nothing about.
How much?
Right.
Why don't you
Come on now.
get
Oh
into
no,
your
I ain't ready for
own
that
life,
motherfucker.
stack your own money, get your own
I can see.
vehicle, and drive yourself
Right.
down the street like a man?
Uh-huh.
And you can be mad if you want to, but I'm just trying to love you enough, man to man, to tell you this thing you're doing is not right.
Hallelujah.
It don't
I
look
preach.
good, and you can't try to make it seem like it's something that it ain't.
God
Look,
bless the child that has his own. Preach.
and look, here comes Donald Amos coming on as the meeting is getting ready to go off. Here comes Donald. It's better late than never. We love him. Give Donald a hand because he's
Yeah.
so late.
Yeah. All right.
Keep
Donald,
preaching, Pop. Keep preaching.
yeah, Donald is, he's feeling privileged, and Donald don't have to come in at 5:30. He figured he could just come in sometime later, and it's okay. Give him another hand for that. He's so late. Give him another hand.
Uh-huh.
What's up, Donald Amos?
Hey, Diamond, it's Calvin. How you doing, bro?
Hey, Calvin.
Yeah.
Hey, I
All
was gonna
right,
tell
all
the
right.
group that I had that job, man, and Friday I went there, terminated me because of my past. So,
Oh,
I'm back on the trail again.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
got
right.
over
That's like the
the
crack in the door we talking about, though.
But
Brother.
I mean, I'm cool. I'm not defeated or nothing. I'm gonna keep on rolling. It was meant
Right,
for me. I get it. So I'm gonna keep on rolling.
Give
right.
me a call, Donald. Call me. Call me.
All right,
I
All
got
I
a
right.
will.
plug.
TS got plenty jobs.
Well,
I got a
Okay, I will.
plug.
I get a
let,
job. I will.
let me say back to you, Donald, that I love that your spirit, uh, you understand your situation, and it's a little bit different in some ways than everybody's situation, and that in order for you to land at the place where you're really supposed to be, it might take some work. Sometimes you can't hit it the first time out, right?
That's true. That's
And-
right.
but if you stay focused and build on your relationship, build on your own strength, recognize that you have power. Here's the 4 psychological strengths that can change your life. Let me give them to you. The first one is identity. Say identity.
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 The second one is intimacy, non-sexual relationships that you can be intimate with to discuss deep things and expect deep feedback. Intimacy. Say intimacy.
Yeah.
Intimacy.
Intimacy.
Now, this is the important one, Donald. You have to find your source of strength in your own cultural identity.
I got you.
And then coping with racism and discrimination in America is a psychological strength that we all must develop in order to make it in this world we live in.
That's right.
And
I
so,
got you.
yes, and so I'm sorry to hear that news, but you know what? They lost a good man. Give him a
That's
hand.
right. But I'm gonna keep on.
Okay,
It's
All
gonna be
right.
okay,
All
good.
right.
okay.
Give a good
It's
man a
gonna
hand.
go okay.
And this is what we're gonna do here. I'm telling you now, I got 2 guys tomorrow. I'm gonna have to check in with their agents. I have relationships with those agents, but if I didn't, I might still have to go there because I don't want these guys going back to prison and wake up from a dry drunk, and wonder how
Yeah.
did I get back here?
Yep.
That's right.
Hmm.
That's right.
Right. And
That's right.
so we tried to offer treatment. We set it up. The people say, "Oh, nah, I don't need no treatment." He drunk in, right?
He's in denial then.
Hey,
Woo, brother.
Pops. Hey, Pops, if you need me, hey, Pops, if you need me, call me. I'll
I
come and
got
grab one of them.
That's it. I appreciate it, man. But this is
Yep.
what we're gonna do. We're gonna get out of here, man. We're
No
gonna pledge
conference
out.
about. We get
I
ready. We
hope
get
that
ready.
everybody got something tonight. And then
Big time.
Will, I'm gonna let you to next week when we start to give us an update on COVID. Um, uh, I'm starting to. Lolita has a family member who died from it. Now it's starting to come closer and closer. I was thinking that we were going to be able to come back as a group toward the end of this month, but lately the new information is making me say no, it's still not safe. We got to push it back because the building that we live in that we're next to is a senior high-rise building.
Oh, yep.
And this is where, out there where Curtis is at, down the street from Curtis, they have more deaths there than in any place else
Mm-hmm.
in Minnesota.
That's
No.
right.
Ain't
So,
nobody heard from Curtis Harris?
No,
still no
Huh?
word. Donald, have you talked to him?
no, I've sure been wondering about it too.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna keep
Anyway,
trying till I get his daughter again, though. I keep trying going by there.
now listen, Timothy is on, and Tim has a heart operation coming up on the 11th month. If you're a praying person, I want you to pray for Tim and pray for his a successful surgery.
Recover.
Tim, what do you have?
Thank
What
you.
do you have to say?
Yeah, I'm hoping everything goes well. Thank you for all this prayer and everything else, and I hope everything goes well. And hopefully, in a couple of weeks, I'll talk to you. Hopefully, maybe.
You will.
You
You will
will.
talk to us. Claim it, brother.
That's right. That's right. Now, Tim, call me as soon as on Thursday to let me know if I can come as a family member or as someone close personal friend. Let me know.
Okay, Pop.
And if I can
This is
be
Definitely
Calvin
will.
again.
there,
Definitely will.
wait a minute, Calvin. And if I can be there, Tim, I will be there. And let's right this minute, we're just gonna say a quick prayer for Timothy.
Right.
Father, we just praise you in Jesus' mighty name that Timothy
Right
Robinson
now.
would face
Go
his
through his surgery
situation
and come
with
up out
courage
of it
and
right
hope,
now, Pop.
that the doctor's
Thank
hands
you,
might be
Lord. Thank
touched
you
and
right
guided,
now, Lord.
that somehow that his life is going to be so much better having had this
Yes,
surgery
Lord.
done, that it would restore some of the youthfulness in Tim. And that Tim is
Right
not
now,
done,
Lord.
he's not through, but he has so much more to live for and so much more life to give. So, Father, in the
Yes, Lord.
matchless name of Jesus, we're praying right now. Bless Tim
Right
right
now,
now
Lord.
and cause
Bless
him to
him in
be
the
no
name of Jesus.
come
Touch
out of
him,
this
Lord.
thing.
Put your blood around him, Father God.
Amen.
Put your anointing in his heart right now in the
Amen.
name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
So look, we're
Love
gonna
you,
pledge up.
Tim.
Oh, that was nice, sweetie.
Yep. Thank you.
I need you all
You're
to repeat
welcome.
after me. Say, I will
I
I
will.
will.
I
I
will
will.
balance my family values
Balance
Balance
my
Balance
my
That
my
is
family
my
family
balance
family
family
my
values
value
family value
with my goals.
With
with
my
with
my
my
with
with
goals.
my
my
goals.
with
goals.
goals.
my
I
goals.
will
I
I
will
I
I
I
will
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 I
will
exercise wisdom
exercise
will
exercise
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 wisdom
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 in what I
wisdom
choose to eat,
when I
when
in
I
what
choose
I
when
when
I
choose
I
to
choose
choose
to
to
eat,
choose to
eat,
eat,
read and do.
read
read
and
read
read
do.
and
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 do.
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 I
Do.
will
I
I
I
I
I
will
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 will.
I
strive to make
will.
all relationships
strive to
strive to
make
make
All
all
the
all
long
relationships
relationships,
all
relationships
relationships.
win-win,
win
win-win,
win,
win-win,
no
Win-win
deal.
and
no
no
a
no
deal.
no
or
deal.
no
deal.
deal.
I will
I
I
I
will
will
will,
Will
under every circumstance
under
under
every
under
under
every
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 circumstance
circumstance,
circumstance
maintain a positive attitude.
maintain a
maintain
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 a
maintain
positive
a
a
positive
attitude.
positive
attitude.
attitude.
I will
I
I
I
will
I
I
will
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 enjoy life
enjoy
enjoy
life
enjoy
enjoy
life
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 with a sense of humor
with the
with
with
a
a
with
sense
a
of
with a
sense
sense of
of
sense
humor
of
humor
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 while taking advantages of opportunities
while taking
while
while
taking
taking
advantage
while taking
advantage of
advantage
advantage of
opportunity
opportunity
and learning from my misfortunes.
and learning
and
from
and
our
learning
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 from
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 my
my
from
misfortunes.
my
misfortune.
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 I will
I
I
I
will
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 act upon circumstances
Act
act
upon
act
upon
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 circumstances
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 rather than have them act upon me.
rather than
rather
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 having
than
than
act
have them
having
upon
to
act
me.
act
upon me.
upon me.
I will
I
I
I
I
will
will
will,
will
on a daily basis
on a
On a
daily
on
on
a
a
daily
daily
basis
daily
basis,
basis,
basis
be proactive with my goals.
be
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 proactive with my
proactive
proactive
with
goals.
with
my
my
goals.
act
goals.
I will
I
I
I
I
will
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 always protect my wisdom
always
always
protect
always
my
protect
protect
wisdom
my
my
wisdom
wisdom
my health,
my health,
my health,
and my happiness.
and my
and
happiness.
my happiness.
I will
I
I
will
will
stay principle centered
stay
stay
principled
principle centered
and maintain a positive circle of influence.
maintain
and
a
maintain a
positive
positive
circle.
circle of influence.
I will
I
I
will
will
daily learn,
daily
daily
learn,
learn,
commit,
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 and do.
and do.
I will
I will
act according to the POP Leadership Institute
act
act
according to
according to
the
the
POP
POP
Institute
Media Institute
and be productive in my community
and be
and be
productive in my
productive in my
community
community
and be productive in my private life.
and be
and be
productive in my
productive in my
private life.
private life.
All right, give yourself a hand right here.
Amen, amen, amen.
You guys can talk a little while amongst yourself if you want to. I love you, and
I love you too, brother.
thank you, man, and thank you for a good meeting, a very powerful meeting, and all the feedback was excellent. Calvin down there in Mississippi, you take good care of yourself. DeAndre, don't get tired of being free. I love you.
I
Okay.
love you too, brother.
Hey, call me, DeAndre.
Bye.